It's Zenzi. Post my I'm gonna get this Sapolsky performance. We're gonna have a blast. It's the inherent evolutionarianism of an argument that precludes its validity. Well, I'm a philosopher of physiology. I don't want to spend too much time getting too into all those crazy details, but that just occurred to me. I've been on a personal rampage. The bifurcation principle just wandered by. And I'm saying to myself, okay, nobody's out here. Can I call a buck in to be my co-star? Quest out to the universe. One that in the current scientific zeitgeist shouldn't occur. For some reason, because I'm not trying to prove that I am cray-cray. I'm trying to prove that the human brain is capable of things that we're not quite noticing. And if we would do so as a species, we can get out of all these conundrums. But if we don't get a new way of thinking in the extraordinarily near future, we're going to self-extinct in approximately 30 years. That's a philosophical hypothesis that I can't get away from. The conditions have all across so many variables. Anybody coming? Maybe a failed experiment. The tension is, how long can I talk intelligently? And how scared do I get that the video be too long and nobody will watch it? I'm producing fine art over here. The fine art of staying alive. Hashtag NFT art. I can't get art. If you do not understand, I have approached earning a living from 360 degrees. It is just like, no. You're expulsed from the species. We don't think you matter. You are not worth enough for anyone to help you in the slightest stay alive. So the small things, and I mean, I think that when I don't ask for help, just for frivolous reasons, it's because it's something that I personally can't do. And I am always trying to have a reciprocal exchange. People be devaluing. Give it get $1 trillion in the future for free cards and still. That's too suspect. Well, but it's not too hard for you to invite me out to dinner, is it? Really that hard to invite me out to dinner? Y'all seeing is believing paradigm is what is hurling this civilization towards self-extincting. There is a more accurate paradigm. Feeling is knowing that I can bring you all up into. Now, that's a logical conclusion. No, I don't see another buck. Oh, I do have a pause button. I don't know, I'll be honest with you if I do pause. I'm just saying I want it to be short enough. Nature, wildlife. Yeah, this is give myself a break. I got good subconscious vibes. They're strong and everything, but Maybe I can get a raptor to come through. It's not the right wind, though. The raptors, birds love to play. And there's so much consciousness that we got it. We got to come back away from that word, learn new definitions, new associations, change the scale just a little bit, get much more clear about things. And all of a sudden, it's really complexly elegant and easy to evolutionarily understand as inherently valid. It's growth, but organic growth is cycles and waves and complexity, not just skyrocketing profits. Going to self-extinct this species if we do not fix the fact that economics is killing people. Day in, day out, second after second after second. Just everything wrong is attributable to a vastly inequitable economic system. So why don't we just fix that? And all these downstream things that occur. If everyone was having their own right livelihood, exchanging their energy in the world in exchange for whatever means of exchange gets them houses and food and whatnot, right? We've got to come away from how stringent and how miserly we've become. And then you punish people for not having access to resources that you've built all this edifice to keep them from having access to these resources. There's going to be a huge prejudice that I couldn't have done this because it takes a while to explain how consciousness works when you're demonstrating it. Right? Because there isn't a word, there isn't a concept. I can't just go consciousness equals, well, I can. But will you understand it? All you gotta do is pivot E equals MC squared into EM equals C cubed. Einstein's limits, his knowing that the world made sense with an old guy in charge. It just wasn't coherent to other things he said. And, it's the challenge of modern life is that none of us get to be who we are. And that our natural flowing thoughts are always having to be self-criticized and compromised and, just in our heads. We're so bizarre. I was getting all my mise en place for my first meal. Been fasting for 5 days. And, feast and famine. Easy peasy, wait, no, don't. Being overweight, carrying around an abundance of fat is an evolutionary feature that has been very successfully conserved for, such that when the environment is a sociological famine state, we do not have an adequate model of civilization. The systems of civilization do not meet the needs of the current consciousness of humanity. It's drawing us back. It's forcing us into smaller conceptions of who we are and what our options are. And that breeds violence and crime. When you open up into freedom, it's freedom, freedom, freedom. Why it ain't ringing? People are calling the cops on me for sleeping in my car. Where's the crime? Where's the send an armed man at her to pound on the roof and give me PTSD of certain sounds? Deep in my REM, I am sleeping. This is police brutality. Now, we want to judge. We want to put it on a scale. We want to say, oh, it's just this poor white lady whining. It's not as bad. The thought that we can only solve certain kinds of people's pain and trauma, that limiting thing, is what scares all of us, because we all are like, well, I'm having these problems and I can't find anyone to help me. We're all repressing the help we need. And at a certain point, it's bound to blow. There's so many social taboos in being a real human these days that you have to be this like off the shelf, one size fits all kind of like dumb handset addicted to automaton. Because then you consume. As per instructions from the dumb handset constantly. Okay, that's long enough. I did not call in a co-star. We'll see. Is there a part 2? Or no?